The AC panel. So to the left side of this is the rear compartment. The front side is the defrost side of it. And so the way you toggle between the front or the rear and the front is the FR, front and rear. And so you can actually turn the defrost and stuff off and only have the AC going. Or you can have only the defrost going and not the AC going. Does that make sense? And you just toggle between it with the FR. The mode here switches from air conditioning. The defrost does not have any AC to it. It only has heat. But you can turn the temperature so low that it's not heating the air, it's just blowing the air. So if you have the snowflake, it's AC. If you have the sun, it's heat. If you have a little circle like this, it's just circulating the air. And so this will toggle if you're pulling air from outside or inside, to recirculate the air. The mode here will switch on the defrost here where it's blowing. If it's just blowing on the windshield, if it's blowing on your feet, or if it's blowing on both. And so the auto here is when you set the temperature, and once that temperature is reached and with the AC, it'll automatically turn off and turn it back on when the heat, just like on your house.
But the drivers do have heat because it
Yes,
gets a little
yes,
bit cold
yes.
here. So, okay.
Yeah.
And it gets hot too.
The rear has heat also. The AC unit heats and cools,
Okay.
and so
Yeah.
it will heat. But the driver does have heat
Okay.
straight onto them, whether you turn the heat on in the back or not. It'll heat up that area there. So does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm just
Just so-
trying to register that no AC
Yeah,
in the
me too.
summertime with like a bus full of people is.
Well, no, it has the AC, so and it's drawing it from the vent area. Okay, on the sides of the buses, there's a part there that comes down like this. That's the vent, like the air duct
Right.
for a house, and then the air blows out from that vent. Well, that vent is going to fill up with really cool air. The fan is drawing it from that vent, not from the passenger area that gets really hot and muggy and.
Well, we just have to
smelly
test it
and
out because we have passengers who complain that it's too cold. If we're dependent on that air to keep us cool, then
I know.
it could be a tug of war. So we just have to kind of
You're-
wait and see how.
You got that door that closes them off and you can't hear them?
Oh, yes.
You can see that.
All right.
They're telling you number one.
Yeah, you're number one. You're number one.
Okay.
You're number one. I was told I was number one the other day when I was in Virginia.
Well,
And I
if they're
didn't know the
British,
road.
they're gonna see you number two. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys, I didn't know the area and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going, I hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And even with the GPS going, this guy's beeping at me and then he passes me and he told me I was number one. Okay, so a lot of handrails in the bus. And so this is the inside of the bus. And obviously I didn't pay attention real closely to this picture. I got brooms here and I got cleaning solutions here because they were trying to detail the bus before we delivered it. And but I got the picture. Got a nice toolbox outside the door.
Right, see that. Milwaukee, right on.
So, you probably won't ever get into this area. This is the defrost up under the hood. This is how you open the hood. You have two pull strings there. And so then you can just you pull those two and then you can lift it up. And so this is the hood area of the bus. And that's just for reference. It is for mirrorization, so you're familiar with the bus. The low voltage, here's my Chinglish button. It's a switch. The low voltage switch is right here, and you actually have a sticker underneath here identifying that. This other door here is the windshield washer fluid, and so you open this up, and one way to tell if it's so you don't have to get down and you can't read. I always forget which way is on and which way is off, and so what I do is I kind of toggle it a little bit. If it's tight, it's on. If it's loose, if it moves really loosely, it's off. Because when you turn it on, it locks into place. And so that way you don't, have to get your, if it's at night and you're not sure if the 24 volt is on, and you get your little thing out and try to see if it's on. Just feel it.
So
you can tell that.
that turns the 24-volt system on,
Yeah,
and it has-
on and off, yes.
on and off. Should it always be on, or when you get out of the bus for the evening, you shut it off, or what do you?
The bus will not charge if you turn it off. So if you
Okay,
have it on the
so it
charger,
should be on
it
all
will.
the time.
The low voltage controls the high voltage system. So if there's no low voltage, no power to the low voltage, nothing else will work. Or shouldn't. So, the marker light's pretty explanatory. This is, all the lights are pretty self-explanatory. You do have a camera back here, which is wonderful with driving these 60-foot buses, and you're backing around a corner. You can actually see what's coming. And this is the charging ports here. And so I think that, yeah. So this is with the door open. So these are your charging ports. You have two of them. And then, if you remember, I told you at the first of the presentation here about the V2Gs. There's two of them. There's one here and one here. The 3-in-1 and the high voltage distribution box, HVDB. And this is your air compressor. The power steering pump is on the driver's side of the bus, just in front of the rear wheel. Yeah, just in front of the rear wheel. And so there's a door there you can open up and you can check the power steering fluid, the height of it and everything. If you remember right, there's a cooling system on the left and a cooling system on the right. Cooling system on the left is always going to be what?
Colder. I mean,
Warmer than the right side. It's because it's cooling this component, this, and the drive motor that you can't see that's on the axle. So it has 4 different units. The cooling system on the right side is only cooling the V2G and the drive motor that's on the axle. So that's why it works that way. The air compressor, I've been really impressed with this air compressor. It's a screw type of air compressor. It's quieter than our others, and it seems to be, it's the first one that I've ever seen that's water cooled. And so it's very efficient. So the different lights throughout the compartments here. And so before driving, make sure that all the doors are opening and closing properly. Now, see how this door here is? It looks like you have to break that glass to get in there. You don't.
Just push it.
If you just push on this side here, it's a magnetic door, and it'll open up and you can toggle that switch. So we don't tell the passengers that, we just let them break it. But for you drivers, you guys might be getting it on and off the bus and you have to use that for some reason. Check the air pressure, make sure the air pressure is up and good on the tires. That will drain your batteries faster than anything I know.
Really?
Operating at a low pressure. Even on your diesels, it's gonna cost you a lot of fuel if your air pressure is not up and at the right pressure. And so just inspect the dash, make sure there's no lights on. This is all before you drive. There are 2 radiators, one on each side of the rear of the bus. This is your windshield washer fluid. Check your mirrors, make sure that they're good and ready. And that's at BYD, when I was a test lane driver, they'd always get so mad at me because before I moved the bus, I always adjusted the mirrors. And they're like, why is it taking so long? Let's go, because they're always in a hurry. I'm like, okay, this is my lifeline. If those mirrors aren't set right, I can't see. If I can't see, I'm gonna hit something. And I said, this is a long bus, and I ain't gonna, I'm not hitting it. So, we've had drivers back these things into, not yours, but some of the other ones, before they had that rear view camera, they backed them into the chargers. Damaged the charger. And had to replace the charger and then fix the bus. And so, not a pretty sight. There's a lot of doors. This is a big door, this is a big door, this here is a big door. This is where the batteries are, behind that door there. There's a door here. There's small doors all through here too. There's the small, this is for the ramp door here. And so, just make sure that they're all closed before you're driving. And make sure the doors are working properly. Here's your, right in front of the middle wheel on the bus is a door for the power steering fluid. And there's marks on there. You probably have to use a flashlight because it's pretty dark inside there. There's no